For the Wednesday, December 18 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers photos show Brooke storming the main office, Katie and Ivy gossiping in the design room, and the Forresters plotting their next move. Scenes from Los Angeles. Carter and Hope may be proud of their slight takeover of Forrester Creations, but they're going to feel the heat real soon. Their little lovey-dovey lust fest is over, and Brooke slams into the room to give them a strong dose of reality. Yes, they may have control, but the company is now in shambles. What's even left for Carter to manage at this point? It's not like any of the rest of the team is willing to participate in his shenanigans. Across the hall, Katie and Ivy share their own thoughts on Carter and Hope's shocking move. Ivy isn't exactly a fan of having Steffi as a boss, but she has a lot of respect for the rest of her family, especially Eric. As does Katie. Surely they won't back the people who robbed that sweet man of his life's work, right? As for Eric and Steffi, they're at the Cliff House with Ridge plotting how to deal with all the drama. They have to find a way to knock Carter and Hope off their high horses before they get much too comfortable and start making too many changes. But how? What is there to do? Don't worry, they have some ideas. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. On the Wednesday, December 18 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers tease that Will threatens Remy to leave Elektra alone and doesn't tell her. The Forresters watch their former company fall apart in their eyes and grow increasingly distressed. Can all of these characters rebound from their dashed dreams? Tune in to find out. Previously on B&B, from the get-go, Will has had a bad feeling about Remy. While Elektra considers him a good friend, Will sees him as the ultimate creepy guy. Will's instinct appears to be right. Not only does Remy have an unhealthy obsession with Elektra, but he secretly posts and sends deepfake erotic pictures of her when he doesn't get what he wants. Remy sent altered images of Elektra to Katie and swiftly jeopardized her career. Will may not have any evidence that Remy did this, but his gut tells him to protect Elektra. He will get right up in Remy's face and tell him to keep away from his woman. Remy doesn't seem like the kind of guy who will heed Will's threats. What can Will do to get this man out of their life? Meanwhile, the Forresters devised a plan to regain control of their company. Unfortunately for them, it does not seem to be working quickly enough. Eric hears of the goings-on at Forrester and can't believe his ears. All Steffi and Ridge can do is stand by and watch their company be destroyed. However, don't count the Forresters out just yet. Ridge and Steffi are both sharks when it comes to business, and we can only envision the battle that looms ahead. Coming up, Ridge and Steffi grow increasingly worried as Eric watches the empire he built unravel. Unbeknownst to Elektra, Will confronts Remy about Will's distrust of him and levels a threat. Zend was ready to quit. On Tuesday, December 17, he was met with an opportunity. He could provide intel for the Forrester clan. Most of them left the business after Carter's coup attempt. But the Forresters need someone to help them rise again on The Bold and the Beautiful. Choose the family. On Tuesday's episode, Zend raced out of Forrester Creations. He met with Ridge, Eric, and Steffi at her Malibu home. Zend announced that he left the company. He stuck by his family. There were times when Zendi felt like an outsider. Yet, he chose to stick with his family. He couldn't betray them. Zendi didn't like the news of Carter's and Hope's coup attempt. Forrester Creations no longer has Forrester's backing. It's become Logan Creations. Zendi told his family that he was supporting them during this time. The group tried to devise a way to regain control of SC again. A new opportunity. Zend was met with a new opportunity during their meeting. Steffi and Ridge told Zend that needed to stick with the company. After all, Forrester Creations is going to need a lead designer. Zendi has talent and visions, both of which Carter is lacking. Since Ridge walked out, they no longer have a designer. Also, the company will likely crash and burn with Carter at the helm. Zend is the perfect person to keep the company afloat. The Forresters want nothing to do with Carter's new company, but that doesn't mean they want the company to crumble. Steffi suggested that Zend could be a Forrester plant. He could feed back information to them. This will give them what they need to retain control again. It could work in their favor. After all, the company is in shambles. Katie already has a PR mess to clean up, and another scandal is yet to come. Will Zend take the job to help his family? At the Cliff House, Eric asks Ridge how they're going to deal with this. He wants to know if Brooke has any insight. Ridge says he didn't spend the night with her last night. Steffi muses about getting up and getting ready for work. Are we really not going in? She asks her dad. He says, nope. Eric learns that Ridge told Brooke he couldn't live on the same property as Hope. Steffi won't take orders from Hope and Carter. Eric grunts, that goes without saying. Just then Zenda walks in. He announces he's resigning. I'm a Forrester. I'm standing with my family. In Forrester's main office, Carter clears all the photos except Stephanie and Eric's from behind the desk. He calls for a meeting with all of the division heads as Hope walks in. She tells him how good he looks in that chair. Carter's first official act is to hire her back, if she'll accept. Hope teases him. Does he know any good lawyers who will help her look over the contract? After giving him her terms, which include unlimited access to the man in charge, Carter assures her that she belongs there. Hope says it's nice to hear. She feels lucky to have him by her side. In the design office, Katie looks at the photo of Electra she was sent with concern. Brooke comes in and updates her sister that she didn't sleep well. She kept hoping Ridge would come home. Katie's sorry. Brooke has faith that things will work out. It will just take some time. Katie is there for her. The Logans take care of their own. Brooke thanks her and asks why she wanted to see her. Katie has something to show her. At Il Giardino, Remy also looks at the photo of Electra. He flashes to digitizing and altering it. Sheila notices his expression and asks what's going on. He says he's just thinking about a friend of his. Sheila asks if he wants to talk about it. In the salon, Electra asks Will to help her drape some fabric. She teases that he might be overqualified for the job. Will says this job comes with perks, like spending time with her. She's glad and doesn't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. Electra tells Will she texted Remy because she feels bad about the way they left things. She'd like them all to hang out. Will asks if she's sure they didn't date. She says he's just a friend, but he's sensitive. She'd feel bad if she hurt his feelings. Will thinks it's strange when she tells him Remy hasn't responded yet. He learns that Remy was kind of a loner, and they were both nerds in school. Electra then gets nerdy about the science of making jewelry. Will tells her she's beautiful and smart. Electra says Remy likes computer science, and he was there for me during a difficult time. At Il Giardino, Remy tells Sheila that he was checking out what someone posted online. Sheila suggests he get back to work. Deacon doesn't slack her. After she walks off, Remy goes back to his phone. In the design office, Katie tells Brooke she got an email with photos of Electra. She shows Brooke, who gawps, oh wow. She thought Electra was sweet and innocent. Katie complains that this is Will's girlfriend, and they also can't afford negative publicity right now. Brooke agrees. They'll have to end their relationship with Electra. In the main office, Carter tells Hope they're going all in on Hope for the future, which will get all the resources it needs. Ivy knocks and comes in. She heard that Carter is head of Forrester now. He assures her it won't affect the jewelry line. Ivy asks if she comes to him for approval now. Carter says, yeah. Ivy admits she's having a hard time imagining how her family members feel about this. At the Cliff House, Zende tells Ridge, Steffi, and Eric that Carter and Hope asked him to stay on, but he's a Forrester. He won't betray his family. Steffi thinks he should reconsider. Ridge agrees. They need someone there to represent their interests until they can take the company back. In the salon, Will asks Elektra about the difficult time in her past she keeps referring to. She says it would have been much more difficult without Remy. At Il Giardino, Remy fumes and cries as he flashes to Elektra, telling him they're not friends like that, and to Will asking him to leave Forrester Creations. In the design office, Katie and Brooke wish it didn't have to be this way. Ivy knocks and comes in. She asks if this is about Hope and Carter. Katie says it's about her niece, Elektra. We're going to have to let her go from Forrester. Ivy gawps. She asks what could possibly be the problem with Elektra. Katie tells her they just don't think she's a good fit for the company. Ivy says she'll have to give her something more. None of this makes sense. Elektra comes in, and Katie tells her they'll have to let her go from Forrester. In the main office, Carter and Hope look ahead to fallout. Hope says they'll remain positive. If they want to be negative and go low, it will look like bitterness. Carter says it looks like they're on their own. He's not sure Ridge, Steffi, and Eric will ever come back. He wants her to be part of his executive team. Hope has to focus some of her energy on getting her line up and running. Carter would like her insight. She thinks it's a nice change of pace to have her opinion valued. She believes in his vision and is thrilled to stand by him. Carter muses that he'll need a stellar CEO to run the day-to-day. I think I know the perfect person. He thrills Hope by telling her he wants Brooke to be CEO. She can't wait to tell her, "I love you so much," she gushes. Carter loves her too. They kiss. At Steffi's place, Zenda can't believe his family wants him to stay on and work with Hope and Carter. Eric advises him that he's a designer, you design. Ridge says it will be nice to have someone on the inside. Steffi agrees. She predicts that the takeover won't last and their day of reckoning will be there before they know it. Ridge says that Carter doesn't get fashion. He doesn't have the talent or vision. Eric declares that they are the company. Steffi's sure they'll sink without them. Ridge agrees, and there's no help in sight. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Scott Clifton recently shared some great news with his fans. On Instagram, Clifton confirmed his return to the studio and joked about what Liam's been up to during his time off-screen. "Very, very happy to be back at the office today," Clifton said in his post. Obviously, Liam's been away at a very expensive tree-hugging, vegan granola yoga retreat. Clifton included a little follow-up information in an Instagram story as well. It turns out Clifton's real-life love had a lot to say about the expression he was sporting in the photo he shared. "I want to be clear. Originally, I had made a much goofier face for this, but Ella Smith Anderson said I should use a handsome one instead. She's not fun, you guys," Clifton said. Although Scott Clifton didn't spill any details about what's ahead for Liam Spencer, many viewers are hoping he'll get involved in a new storyline. Liam remains single for now, but maybe his life will undergo some romantic updates sooner or later. Hope Logan is with Carter Walton for the time being, but Ridge Forrester has made a prediction about them crashing and burning. If Carter ends up hating Hope like Ridge expects, perhaps she could reunite with Liam down the road. Then again, Liam and Ivy Forrester might be an option if the show finally decides to revisit them as a pairing. Even Liam and Steffi Forrester could be a possibility if she hits another rough patch with John Finnegan. Anything is possible in the world of soaps, so we'll see what happens with Liam's romantic future moving forward. Are you glad Scott Clifton is returning as Liam Spencer? Who do you think Liam should be paired up with next? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Liam has some fresh material coming up, so stay tuned to see what's in store. So where do you want to be for fantastic Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, predictions, updates, and news? So make us your favorite B&B hotspot. Tanner Novlin explained that he likes to see the mundane aspects of Steffi and Finn played out on screen. On soap operas, it's very rare for a couple to stay married for any great length of time. Usually, something always threatens to break them up, and often does so. But the bold and the beautiful Steffi and Finn have been together for quite a while, and despite Hope's best efforts, they remain a solid couple. Finn's portrayer Tanner Novlin recently talked about how cool that is, especially since Finn is a character that doesn't have decades of backstory as baggage. A doctor, a CEO, and their home life. In a conversation with Soaps, Tanner Novlin was asked that considering Steffi, Jacqueline McSinswood, and Finn are now a super couple, what were the upsides and downsides of being part of that? They're so strong together, and I always love how they lean on each other and support each other, and I think there's a lot of cool drama that can come out of that. He referred to their relationship as a functioning marriage, yet they're always yanked into different directions, and their values are always tested. But I just see it as a big positive. He enjoys it when the soap takes a breath and decides to show the couple's home life and how they deal with their kids Hayes and Kelly, Steffi's daughter with Liam. I think it's fun to have, this very powerful, amazing CEO of this fashion conglomerate and a doctor, and then at the end of the day, they come home and it's just like, maybe it just resonates with me in life or on some level where you come home and it's like your kids don't care about any of this. Mundanity at its best. Novlin continued talking about how he likes to play out Steffi and Finn's home life, remarking, "And so I like the kind of mundane scenes where they're just trying to maintain their house, which I think there's, interesting drama that can come from all sorts of ways. But our writers are so amazing, they always come up with something. And that's where we can truly see the bond between the two getting stronger as they navigate real-life situations that the audience can identify with." He was then asked if there were perhaps any deep, dark secrets in Finn's life that haven't been played out yet. He responded, "You never know, but that's one of the coolest things about playing Finn as an original character. There's no past that we know about, and so we can be very creative with other things like that." Considering Finn is relatively new and not burdened by decades of storylines, where continuity would have to always be considered, he felt the writers have free rein to come up with whatever they can imagine that would be fun and entertaining for Finn to play out. Remy is going to need someone in his corner, or he'll find himself backed into one. His dark will be exposed to the light soon. Sheila could help the young man redeem himself in the bold and the beautiful. The head villain in charge knows how to change her life around. She could help Remy do the same thing once he gets in trouble. Going to the dark side. B&B viewers are getting a sense of Remy's dark side. He took things too far when he created deepfakes of his friend Elektra in the buff. In the past, the photos would surface on the dark web, but now they ended up in the wrong hands. Remy sent the photos to Katie. She's already in the middle of a PR mess, and now she has to brush this latest scandal under the rug before it worsens. There's a reason behind Remy's madness. He doesn't like that Elektra rejected him. He thought that she was into him too. That all changed when she started dating Will. How Sheila could help. Remy is clearly obsessed with Elektra. It could cost him his job at Il Giardino. On the Tuesday, December 17th episode of B&B, Sheila asked Remy if everything was all right with him. She noticed that he had a tense expression on his face as he stared at his phone. Remy lied and shared his disgust with social media. He said he doesn't want to know every aspect of a person's life. Sheila reminded Remy that he needed to get his head into gear, or he could lose his job. She could be the one to help Remy when things get even worse. If anyone knows about obsession, it's Sheila. She could help Remy recover from his fascination with Remy. Sheila redeemed herself and turned her life around. She doesn't even obsess over Finn. She would be the perfect person to mentor Remy. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Brooke Logan is on the receiving end of Ridge Forrester's waffling. Ridge and Brooke disagree about his treatment of her daughter, Hope Logan. Will Brooke turn to Bill Spencer for comfort? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Ridge Forrester destroys Bridge. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Ridge refuses to see that the Logans have always been treated like second-class citizens at Forrester Creations. Ridge doesn't see that Steffi's treatment of Hope was not based on a business decision, but on her personal feelings. Steffi even admitted this, and Ridge still argues the point. Ridge has completely turned against Hope, and Brooke isn't going to put up with his actions. Ridge even tried to force Brooke to make Hope move out of the cabin and find her own place. When Brooke refused, Ridge walked off and went right straight to Steffi's so he could whine to her and Taylor Hayes. Ridge sleeping with Taylor ends Bridge. B and B spoilers. Brooke Logan needs someone who supports her. Brooke is simply fed up with Ridge's disrespect for her and her daughter. If Ridge can find comfort in someone else, so can Brooke. Brooke will turn to Bill Spencer, who may come over to check on her. No doubt Bill hears what has happened with Carter Walton and Ridge. Bill never stopped caring for Brooke. He has told her that several times. Bill has even tried to get Brooke to come back to him more than once. Will Brooke fall back into Bill's arms and allow him to offer her the support she needs? Since Ridge and Brooke are both single, could they reunite? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Bill Spencer knows what he wants. Bill constantly says that Katie Logan is the love of his life. Katie is convinced that is only true when Brooke isn't available. Is Bill about to prove Katie right by taking Brooke back now that Ridge has once again broken her heart and run back to Taylor like he always does? Could Brooke and Bill not only start a new relationship, but could Bill throw in with Carter and Hope to take over Forrester Creations as well? Will Bill give Brooke exactly what she needs now that Ridge has once again walked away? Ridge doesn't deserve Brooke, and she is right to go against him. Can Brooke completely move on from Ridge this time and do it with Bill? Come here for all things B and B Stop by Often for all of your bold and beautiful news, spoilers, and updates.